Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope I am finally here and audible. As you have seen a couple of times, I should be used to these things right now, but yeah, looks like I cannot get the gist of it, but here I am now. So hopefully I am audible. I am actually live. And yeah, thank you very much to those who have been patient with me. I am pretty sure that, yeah, by now I should be understanding this. Surprise, surprise, I actually do IT, but yeah, these things are still giving me some issues, but I cannot say that is my line of work because it's much more technical and all those things. So, but we here. Finally, football is actually back. I am happy there was actually no football last week, or there was, but yeah, international. I just completely switched off from that. But we are back now. Sorry, I didn't actually record my Game Week 3 review stream because of a lot of caveats, trying to improve my setup. My internet has been nearby bad, to be fair. But yeah, I have fixed that. And now, hopefully, that will be a problem of the past. So, we are actually 19 minutes before the Game Week 4 deadline. So, without wasting any time, I am going to begin with while the screen is actually still loading, I just want to take this opportunity to again thank every single one of you who actually takes time to watch my video, whether it is a minute or two. It's better than nothing. It actually is better than nothing. So yes, please make sure that you actually give the like, hit the like button on your bottom right hand corner, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel because we are just getting started. We are actually just getting started. I am going to be consistent and I'm going to produce all this content for the entire season. My aim is, of course, to win the game, but yeah, they are over 10 million. As you can see here, there are over 10 million players. So that's 1 in 10 million chances. So my realistic aim is to actually make the top 10,000, which I actually haven't made. I've played the game for the past 8 or 9 years. I'll quickly go through my game week history just to show you my rankings from the past. I started playing in 2015-16, so it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I can count, it's actually 9 years playing the game. My highest ranking was last season, 31,000. It's easily my best season actually last season because around about this time I was 8 or 7 million. This year started off to a great start, but last week we did have a hiccup. Poor. I'll quickly take you through my team. I don't want to talk much about it because it actually does not make me happy. I made 2 free transfers, as you can see here. I brought in Madueke and Morgan Rogers for Jacob Murphy and Marcus Rashford. I had a double up in attack for Manchester United. I did not want to continue with that. We are struggling to get goals, so I figured that I should get rid of Rashford, which was actually a good decision. But Madueke did not produce, nor did Morgan Rogers. So 61 points, Dean Henderson, 4 pointer. I don't count this as a return, even though he did actually get 6 point saves, 6 saves, which for every 3 saves, you get 1 point for a goalkeeper. So I don't count that as returns, it's just 4 points. Israel Kwanzaa, who got injured for England but is fit to play today, came in with 2 points. Anthony Robinson, 4 points, another assist for him. He's just been consistent, one of my best buys this season. Didn't play him the first week, came in with a 7 pointer against Leicester at home. Another assist away to the relegation or promotion team in Ipswich Town. So that's 2 assists for Robinson. I cannot complain for a 4.6 defender. That's great value. Ben White, I could have saved the point 0.5 and went for Saliba and Gabriel because there's no attacking returns as of yet. His numbers are pretty bad, 0.07 XGI involvement in the past 3 games, which is just nearby non-existent. He did give me, he did get me 2 clean sheets in the first 2 weeks, but last week Arsenal, or the week before, Arsenal got a red card. They conceded in the second half to João Pedro, and the rest is history. I am still, this pick is not the optimal pick. Trent Alexander-Arnold is the pick if you have 6 to 7 million to spend on a defender. I believe that Trent Alexander-Arnold is the best pick now. I'm actually not so happy without no Liverpool, as you can see on my description there. No Liverpool players, which is a big worry for me. They have 2 good fixtures at home in the next 2 games, and I have no Liverpool. While Ben White actually has a derby tomorrow, and Arsenal don't have a lot of midfielders with Odegaard and Declan Rice not playing tomorrow. So it seems that Odegaard is going to be out for a couple of weeks. Next week, away to Man City, not a good fixture. I could easily transfer him to Trent Alexander-Arnold because I have 1 million in the bank, but I am gonna play the patient game, partially because I told myself that this season I want to be a patient manager. And yes, it has tested my patience this season. I do not want to play my wild card early. So that's why I am going to keep Ben White, even though his next 2 fixtures are terrible. There's no way they're getting clean sheets in those. But yeah, in 6, 7, and 8, those are great, great fixtures. So I hope that he makes that up for me. I don't want to do the hokey cokey, as so it's called on fantasy world, that which means that you bring one player in the 1 week and you take him out the next week. I just don't want to waste my transfers. I don't think I'll actually make a transfer, but we will get that. We'll get into that when I take you through my team. Midfield last week, only Cole Palmer and Saka got the assists for me. Terrible decision in hindsight to captain Saka ahead of Haaland. But as I've said, I like to captain players who are playing at home because there's just more chance of them returning big. I don't know why. It's just teams at home get the rub of the green. And yeah, but Arsenal didn't get that. He got 1 assist. He could have actually got another assist or a goal because Kai Havertz set him up, and yeah, that would have been a goal by Saka, assist by Havertz, and that's easily plus 15 points, and I'm easily on 76 points. So I'm not gonna, be tough on myself for that. I'll take that terrible week. Madueke, as I've mentioned, yeah, it was just a knee-jerky reaction, but I'm gonna give him a chance because, as I've mentioned, I love the Chelsea fixtures running all the way until the next international break. The next 4, away to Bournemouth tonight, away to West Ham. It's a derby, but I think Chelsea can get goals there. Brighton at home, and Nottingham Forest at home. These are just great fixtures, so hence why I have Cole Palmer, who is actually still yellow flagged, but I think there were training pictures of him training back in training, so I do expect him to start. He's not even chosen into the European squad for Chelsea, so that's good news for me. That means that he will play every single Premier League game. For me, he's still there with Salah and Saka as the best midfielders. He's returned 4 returns in 3, actually 5 because he has 4 assists and 1 attacking goal rather. So yeah, 5 in returns. And that today also, Bournemouth away, I expect a goal or an assist from him, if not more. So Cole Palmer will stay for me until the next international break. That's if no injuries. Am I nervous with the yellow flag? Yes, I am, but these are fantasy flags. I expect Cole Palmer to play. My last pick is a United pick, Alejandro Garnacho, who's actually had the best numbers so far for all the midfielders. If you rank him with the non penalty expected goals, he is up there. partially because of the big chances he had in the opening two fixtures. That open goal he had where he shot at Zexi and the one he missed at Fulham at home. So yeah, hopefully he actually plays today. I haven't gotten any United team news. With 10 minutes left, I don't see any United team news, but I will quickly scroll through my Twitter to see if there is actually team news now. Because remember now, I see that on Twitter, Haaland actually starts or will be playing today, which is good news. So he's also yellow flagged, but that is due to, I believe, one of his close family friend or family passed on. So Pep did mention in his press conference last night that it will be up to Erling Haaland. My last pick in my team is Kai Havertz. The plan was to actually bring in Ollie Watkins for Havertz. I do have the money in the bank to do that. But as I've mentioned, I like the fixtures for Arsenal in game week 6, whereby a lot of people will be welcoming to bring in the Arsenal players. So I'm planning to wildcard at the end of the year, round about game week 16, 17, roundabout there. So I am going to start being patient, especially this season. My bench, I have bench folders. Jarrell Kwanzaa has been an absolute bummer for me. No good, to be fair. He's dropped his price to actually 4.2. It's not 4.3. I'm going to refresh my screen. This looks like it was the screen I was using from yesterday. I haven't refreshed it yet. But yes, Gerald Kwanzaa has now dropped to 4.2. I've lost zero point 0.3. I'm not the type of manager to actually want his prices to drop. Nobody does, but yeah, I'm not going to be playing him anytime soon. So I will make the transfer probably next week when I have 2 free transfers. But he's just been terrible pick, terrible pick. My only active playing defender is actually Murillo for Nottingham Forest, who's going to be on the bench for me because they are actually playing Liverpool away. Yeah, that's it with my team from 2 weeks ago, 61 points. Back in the day, 61 points was a guaranteed green arrow. These days, there's so many good picks. Haaland and Salah are breaking the team, the structure of the points actually. So you need at least 80 points to get an average. Even though the average says 64 here, but I'm talking about the much engaged managers, the top 100,000 managers. Getting into my team, no transfers. I don't think I'll be making a transfer. The plan was to bring in Ollie Watkins, who actually have brilliant fixtures, but I am being doubtful for that because he's not played a whole lot of minutes. I'll just go to Ollie Watkins quickly and show you why I've changed my plans to not actually pick him. He will start today. I am most certainly certain of that. He got 5 points, which was a very lucky assist, to say the least about that. Yeah, it just scraped his stats, and yeah, he was rewarded the assist. Maximum minutes is played 64 minutes. I know he came late from Europe, European Championships rather, but yeah, 60 minutes. I like minutes because the most XGs happen at the end of the game when the game opens up. So I like my players to be more locked and have 90 minutes in their tool because you don't know when the goal can come. You can easily score 3 goals in the last 10 minutes while Watkins is out. And also Duran, who's came in for Watkins and is doing pretty well. So I expect him to eat up the Oli Watkins minutes. Take you quickly through my team. There's 5 minutes left until the deadline, ladies and gentlemen. So please make your transfer. If you haven't, make sure you've saved your captain and make sure you have your vice captain because you have your vice captain set to someone you think will play just in case Haaland won't play. But as I've mentioned, Erling Haaland will start. I've just seen on Twitter. So he will start today. No issues about that. Goalkeeper, Dean Henderson, don't have much to say about him. Does not give me any points. I actually don't I expect Leicester to score. So yeah, he will just be in my team for the long run. I'm not going to waste my transfer on a goalkeeper because there's just no high ceiling or upside there. So whether he's there and gives me 1 or 2 points, he's 4.5. If you want points from goalkeepers, you gotta pay the money. Ellison and Raya are the picks that I can say people can go for. But for me, I don't like picking a goalkeeper from the top teams because I feel like I will need three of those outfield players in the future. See, now I have three Arsenal outfield players, so Raya for me is no option. My defense consists of Kwanzaa, Robinson, Ben White. No change to that. I expect that I don't see actually no clean sheets from me in my team. Aston Villa's numbers in defense are pretty decent, but they always find a way to concede. Fulham, yeah, I expect at least a taking return rather than them stopping West Ham will score. So will Tottenham. So yeah, I'll just have Ben White for the next 2 weeks. Hide behind the couch without Trent Alexander-Arnold. As I've said, he's the best pick in the defense. It looks this season so far, but I still back Ben White in the long run. My midfield unchanged as well. Unchanged team actually. Rogers, Madueke, Saka, Palmer, vice captain, just in case Haaland would not play, but he will. And Garnacho. Garnacho has been a problem for me. I haven't seen no United team news. 4 minutes left, no United team news, but I will still play him because I believe even though he does not start, he can still return from the bench. If we don't find a way to score goals or beat Southampton, we are in the mud. Actually, we are actually in the mud now, but you know what I'm saying. I don't see a way back for Eric Ten Hag if we don't win today. But we will talk about that once the deadline is passed. My strike force has not changed as well. Kai Havertz, hopefully he gets a goal. I think he'll play midfield probably. That's if, or yeah, he can actually drop into the 10 because yeah, they don't have Odegaard as I've mentioned and Declan Rice. So I'm thinking they'll go with a midfield of double pivot with Jorginho and Partey. So it will be whether Havertz comes into the 10 or actually Ateta gives a chance to the youngster Ethan Nwaneri, I believe. I believe I didn't butcher his name. So we'll see. But hopefully he will stay up front and get a goal. And yeah, hopefully. My captain, Erling Haaland, not going to overthink it. Home to Brentford. I'm actually happy he's flagged. That will put off some people from captaining him. For me, he's got 2 hat-tricks in a row. I can't see how he's actually making a mockery. We've had great strikers in the Premier League, and he's actually making a mockery of that because he keeps on scoring hat-tricks after hat-tricks. It's just incredible numbers at this time. Whether you don't agree or don't like his all-round ability, which is actually improving now, I just think he'll break all sorts of records, and I do not love to see that as a United fan. So it's going to be a long day for Mandem, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a long day. My bench, rubbish as always. Matthews doesn't play. Kwanzaa doesn't play. Jefferson transferred out to another team, I believe. He went to Watford, loaned out to Watford. Only Murillo, who's playing Liverpool, and I expect Liverpool to not better, but to win actually against Nottingham Forest. So yeah, I am 1 minute. It's 1 minute before the deadline, ladies and gentlemen. Lock in your teams. I'm rolling my transfer. I don't feel very much optimistic about this week. I don't think I'll do well because no City defense. I have three Arsenal who are injury hit. Do not have Liverpool. Most of the engaged managers have three Liverpool. So it's going to be a long day for me, a very long day. I expect me to if I can just reach parity and just get average score, I'll take that for the next 2 weeks because for me, the best picks are Liverpool picks and I do not have them. But I back my strategy. As I've said, I want to be a patient manager, roll my transfers. Remember that last season, once you played your wild card, your transfer gets scrapped off. Now you can carry your transfers. So my aim is to have as many transfers as I can, which is rolling them, having 3 or 4, and making that mini wild card. That will allow me to save my wild card for the end of year, because we still have that mystery chip. There's the mystery chip that needs to come in at the second half of the season. And yes, the chips for me are still there. I am playing my chips until the second half of the season. As you can see, bench boost is still there, triple captain free hit, my wild card, even the mystery chip. I'm gonna start playing them in the second half of the season. So I'm gonna hedge my bets that those chips will help me claw back the rankings, because now it's not looking good. It's actually past deadline. So happy green arrow, ladies and gentlemen. Happy green arrow. I'll just go through my predictions for the next 15 minutes. Please make sure once again to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and I will be producing more content as we look back tomorrow. No matter what, I promise, even though United will lose tomorrow, I'll be here. I shan't run away. It was the international break. I was not around. And yeah, I just wanted to give a break from football, because it can be depressing, man. Now they gave us the Arsenal slot, as you would call it, like the early kickoff while the whole world is watching. It's gonna be a long day for us, but let's get into it. I will be live for the next 15 minutes until the United team news come out. Remember that the team news are now out 75 minutes before the kickoff. So yeah, 12:15 South African time, I will end the stream. I'm going to quickly go through my predictions, which will tell you how I think which players will do well and which players not so well. Man United versus Southampton, or Southampton versus Man United rather. I'm going to start with the host. I haven't seen a game of Southampton, but from what I hear is that they are a bit like Burnley last season, naive. They think they can come to the Premier League and actually pass better teams, and those teams can just press them. They are susceptible to making mistakes. If you're going to play from the back and you don't have the quality to do so, you are going to get found out in the Premier League. For me, I believe as a minnow team in the Premier League, you need to get there and do the basic correct. Play your long ball, get your set pieces, play some Allardyce style, man, Sean Dyche style, while you grow into the league. The most important things are the points. Nobody cares if you played well but lose 3-0. They lost 3-1 to Brentford, yet they had the better position, and I think they had more chances. I'm not quite sure about that, but I will look into that. Coming into the visitors, Manchester United. You know that video of that guy who says Manchester United and he starts laughing. Yeah. For me, if I don't laugh, I will cry, because this team is giving me. I don't know, man. I don't know what to expect today. We should win the game of football, but to me, it wouldn't be a surprise if Southampton get a draw or even beat us 2-1. I expect us to concede, because we always do concede. Yeah, United, man, come on. Yeah, it will be interesting to see if who's gonna be our midfielder, because Casemiro had a stinker against Liverpool, was hooked off at halftime for young Toby Collier. So it will be interesting to see if Ugarte, whom I doubt will start, because Ten Hag doesn't like to start the player once they are bought. He wants to give them time and time and time, like he has time. He does not have time. He has to start winning. I've been Eric Ten Hag's biggest advocate. Last season, I've said we've been unlucky with injuries, but we did not plan correctly. We still don't have a left back. I'll complain about that until the cows come home. We don't have a left back, a left-footed left back. That doesn't even help Rashford, whom I don't think is a good player and shouldn't be playing for Manchester United. But he's not helped because there's no one overlapping around him to give him the option when he cuts in, which he always does. He never runs on the byline and whip the ball across the face of goal. But that's his strength or his weakness because he runs into blind alleys, man. Yeah. Prediction. I don't want to talk a lot about United. I'm just gonna say, yeah, 1-1. I'm expecting a horrible game. I don't know why I still have Garnacho, but the faith for me was to have him for the long term because I thought we would click once we get Ugarte in the team, once Rasmus Højlund gets into the team as well, and some of our left backs who are injury prone, Tyrell Malacia and Luke Shaw, get into the team as well. Hopefully, we can get some way with that. So prediction 1-1. I'm hoping for like a 4-0, 5-0, but I'm not too confident when it comes to Manchester United. Jeez, sorry about that. If you can hear that, looks like my neighbors just decide to drill. Make of that what you will. Yeah. Sorry, but yeah, it looked like it was momentarily. If you hear that, I'm sorry. Next fixture, Brighton versus Ipswich. Brighton, whom I was very critical of by saying they didn't play well against United, I stand by that. I was still not impressed against Arsenal, but it's Arsenal. Arsenal played well in the first half. As soon as the red card came in, the game changes. They're playing against 10 men. They still should have also conceded. I still think Arsenal could have won it there with Saka and Havertz's chances there at the end. Saka could have actually also went down when we're shooting from the rebound of the Havertz shot. He could have been more streetwise and tried to win the penalty there, but the star boy decided to be a good boy. And good boys never, yeah, the good boys, you know what they say about the good boys. I'll leave it to that. Brighton Ipswich, I expect a comfortable home win, maybe 2-1 or 3-1. I will say 3-1 to the Seagulls. Next fixture, if before I move on, if you have players like Brighton and Liverpool, for me, sorry, I didn't mention that. I think in the short term, they have the best two fixtures. So I know that people have João Pedro, who was the most transferred in player. Danny Welbeck is in there. If you have, you can also pick Minter or Minter, yeah, I don't know how it's pronounced, as well as Matoma. I think if you have those, you are in for a good day. I see them getting at least a couple of goals. So I'll say 3-1. Crystal Palace versus Leicester, I see a home win as well. Eze is one that hurts me. He should be the one in place of Garnacho. I could have made the transfer, but as I've said, I want to roll and be patient and not try to be like the past 9 years. I just want to play a preserved game and an attack in the second half of the season with all the chips and the transfer in hand. But some of you can argue that why are you doing that? It's like going into the game and saying you want to trail 5-0 before you start playing. But as I've said, I want to keep my chips in hand and the transfer. So we'll see. We'll see. I think Crystal Palace should win this football match easy. I say 3-1 as well. Next fixture, Fulham, West Ham. This fixture actually was a 5-0 from what I remember. Fulham did have those results in them where they lost 5-0 to who actually won? Give me a second. I need to search that. I can't just speak and waffle. Yet I have the internet near me. I will just let you guys know how that game played last season. Give me a second. But one of them actually won 5-0. So I'm not sure if it was West Ham. It was actually Fulham. Yeah, Fulham beat West Ham 5-0 actually. Jeez, I'll take a 5-0 today because that means Anthony Robinson hopefully will be in the attacking returns as well as a clean sheet, but I don't see that. West Ham, they always win the transfer window. People say they buy players like Kudus. They bought, that was last season. This season they bought Full Crook. They bought Somerville. They bought Aaron Wan-Bissaka from Manchester United. They bought a midfielder in Guaido, I think. So yeah, decent transfer window, but they always say that about West Ham. So we'll just have to wait and see. They've had tough fixture last week against Man City. They they gave themselves a fighter's chance, but Erling Haaland was always going to be the difference there. Fulham, they've had decent fixtures, not too impressive, but it's just the start of the season. I'll just sit on the fence with this and say 1-1. Then the fixture that I will be hiding behind the couch without Liverpool players whom are the most owned that I believe in the game. Salah is up there. If you have Salah and captain him, I have no qualms about that. I think he will score a goal or two or three. If you have your likes of Diaz, Jota, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, I think Liverpool have the best fixtures in the next 2 weeks. So I don't begrudge people who has three players from there. As I've mentioned, I know that the people that brought in the Liverpool players this week will want to wildcard to bring in the Arsenal players in game week 6. So for me, I've already prepared to have the Arsenal players for game week 6, hoping that the ones that wildcard used it already. For me, I'm just going to use the transfer, bank them, and we'll see. We'll see. I don't have much to say about Liverpool. They came into our own house and they beat man up, fam. They beat man up. It's like someone coming to your house, comes to your missus, gets a bang, gets to your fridge, drinks your alcohol, sits on the couch, goes to the toilet, doesn't even flush, fam. They just dunked on us, man. Liverpool. They dunked on us on our own yard. It could have been more. Soboslai was even taking a Mickey there, trying to literally walk in. It was a joke, man. I didn't even finish the game. I normally never do that, but long day, man. Long day. So Liverpool are playing well. They didn't change much from the club. Klopp was actually smart in having a big transfer last season, knowing that he's gonna resign, giving the foundation. One thing that our previous managers weren't given, but I'm not gonna it. I think Liverpool will 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 win this. I'm actually getting a call, but yeah, Liverpool to win this, maybe 4-0, 4-0 or 4-1. I'll give. They are due to concede. They have 3 clean sheets in 3. So yeah, give me a second. I'm just gonna reply to this call. So yeah, 4-1 Liverpool. Man City versus Brentford. The funny thing is, actually, City don't have a good record against Brentford from what I can remember, or they don't tend to do well at home to Brentford. I remember where Brentford won it in the last minute. I think it was 2-1 a year or so ago at the Etihad. I think that was the last team to beat City. I stand to be corrected, but I think that was the last team to beat City at the Etihad. But yeah, I cannot look past Erling Holland. Rodri's back. Foden is back as well. It's going to be a long day for Brentford. I think Helen can score another hat trick, man. Like, yeah, if you have City players, good on you. I see them doing well. I also captain Haaland. Then, so I'm going to say 3-1 City as well. They always find a way. So if you have Gvardiol, I'm sure you're frustrated because they always find a way to concede as well. The penultimate fixture of the day will be Aston Villa home to Everton. Everton, who have had a terrible start, but they actually played well, I believe, at home to Bournemouth. First 18 minutes leading 2-0. Bournemouth didn't even have a kick, and somehow Everton shed the bed. Like, excuse my language, or they pissed their pants, whatever you want to say. Like it was just shambles, whereby Bournemouth scored 3 goals in the last 10 minutes. I think that was the latest comeback from a 2-0 deficit ever in the Premier League. Like, because they scored their first goal in the 86th minute. So yeah, it's one of those days for them. Gerald Brandthwaite, wanted by United, hasn't started the season. Once he comes back, he's brought in by many managers. I don't think if he blanks today, I don't see him, or I don't see a lot of managers having faith with him as well. So it will be a long day. I think managers will want to sell him if he doesn't do anything today. As I can see on my other screen, I'm not sure if you guys can still see my screen. I'm going to stop sharing and start sharing as we go through the last fixtures of the weekend before I give you guys the whole weekend to enjoy some football. Football is back. Even the PSL, for those that watch PSL in South Africa, good for you guys. Happy for you guys. At least Kaiser Chief fans, you know. Yeah, my teams are actually, they're terrible, man. My teams are just terrible. I can't lie. I can't lie. I can't lie. My teams are terrible. Okay. Aston Villa at home. Ollie Watkins. I actually expect Watkins to get a goal or two, coming from a person who could have easily bought him but didn't. As I've said, I don't want to sell Arsenal players and get them back in game week 6. So hopefully, when he scores, Rogers will be assisting him. So I'm gonna say 2-1 Aston Villa, because they also have their biggest game of the season on Tuesday, I think, against Young Boys back in the Champions League, Villa Park. So I think that's a much bigger game for them. Last game of the day, that will be my fixture. I have 2 players there, Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke. Hopefully Chelsea can get the goals there, even if they concede, which I think they will. Bournemouth haven't played too well, but they're still unbeaten at home now. So I'm hoping that without their number one choice goalkeeper, who's not actually too good, Kepa Arrizabalaga from Chelsea, actually on loan, Chelsea can get the goals there. I bet Palmer to get a goal or an assist there in that game. So I will say 4-2. 4-2 to Chelsea. I think they just have too much firepower there. Jadon Sancho is now in there as well. João Felix is there. Nkunku. All these players that I'm mentioning are actually on the bench. Modric, but yeah, Modric is a bum. I can't lie. Modric is there. Yeah. Then last Sunday fixture, Spurs Arsenal. This is my second favorite fixture in the Premier League of all time for me, behind the tiny word derby, Sunderland, Newcastle. I mean, if you know that derby, you know that it's pure hatred. But I know that the Spurs and Arsenal fans don't like each other. That's why I genuinely love this derby. One thing that annoys me about this is that Arsenal are going to wear their away kit. That doesn't make sense. Like, some fixtures are bound to be like, you don't change kids, man. You don't change kids for your El Clasico. Like, imagine Barcelona coming to the Bernabeu there with their third kid. Like it doesn't make sense. Some fixtures are traditional. Liverpool, Everton, traditional kids. So yeah, that doesn't sit well with me. But yeah, what can I say about that? We can't do anything. Arsenal missing Odegaard and Declan Rice. I hope that people now, last season I used to complain a lot about injuries to United because we lost our core team. So now I've been saying that Arsenal have been the luckiest team with injuries. They had their whole team last season, Timber. So this season is going to be peak now. You take out 2 of their best midfielders. Let's see if Arteta still can coach the team to win. Let's see. If he does that, then Ten Hag is the one to blame, which the two situations aren't the same, but I still believe that you lose your good players, the team don't play well. So without I'll give you an example. Odegaard was out for 2 games last season. I think it was the home to West Ham and away to Fulham. They didn't win that. So if he's out for 4 or 5 games, let's see now, because he's their mainstay there. They sold Emil Smith Rowe, they sold Fabio Vieira. So let's see if it's gonna be long day. If it's gonna be, but you know who they're playing. They're playing Mr. Highline, Ange Pascal, Ange Postecoglou. What I like about him, he has a style of play, whether you like it or not, whether it makes sense or not. Highline, yeah, I expect Arsenal with Sterling and Saka with the. You just need to play that long ball behind, and yeah, you'll always create chances. This derby always has goals, so I will sit on the fence and say 2-2. Last game of the weekend, I don't have no players in that. I know a lot of managers have Isak and Anthony Gordon, and some still have Lewis Hall, whom I don't think will play. But yeah, Wolves at home, they've just had a terrible start because of their fixtures, man. Like they've had terrible, like they were dealt a bad hand. If you're saying this, these are cards. I'll give an example. They were just dealt a bad hand. Their fixtures are terrible until game week 10. Like they just played. They've already played Chelsea. Who else did they play? I think they are playing Newcastle. They're gonna play Liverpool soon. City soon. It's gonna be a long day for Wolves. But yeah, you rather get done with those fixtures. So I will say 1-1. I'll sit on the fence as well on this 1-1. Yes, that's it for my predictions. Happy Green Arrow, ladies and gentlemen. Before I end this stream, I'm just gonna take you through the United teams. They should be out by now. Hopefully, I see Garnacho's name there. That's all I just wish to see. And Ogati, but I know he won't be there. Ladies and gentlemen, Alejandro Garnacho is on the bench again. Like, yeah, no, I should have sold him, man. Honestly, absolute fuss. I can't lie. I see Ericsson is there. The team is in. It's Onana, Mazraoui, Delit, Martinez, Dalo. That's our back four. Midfield of Ericsson, Bruno, Kobe Mainu. Attack of Amad Diallo, Rashford, and Joshua Zexi. Our bench is Johnny Evans, Buendia, Maguire, Casemiro, Collier, Ugarte, Anthony, Garnacho, and Young Ridley. Yeah, Garnacho, absolute fast, man. Like, I should have probably bought Eze, man. Like, yeah, no. Yeah, but thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll all have green arrows. United would have won 5-0. Garnacho hat trick off the bench, and Liverpool would have lost 1-0. Just 1-0. 1-0 to Forest, hopefully. Yeah. If you enjoy my content, make sure you like my video, subscribe, bottom hand corner, right hand corner. I'll check you in the next one.